Hello, people. Um, I'm gonna flip this around the other way. This would be a lot easier. Um, just want to make sure get some people in here. So, um, you know, there's lots of different forms of pain. You've mental pain, where there's, say, you're studying for a test and you're trying to cram all this knowledge into your head and you're stressing over it so bad. Then you have pretty much, I'm going to rotate this here like this. Then you have things like physical pain, okay? Um, to where, you know, your aches, your pains, your broken bones, just your physical pains, my lower back, oh, I strained it, things of that nature. And you have emotional pain from, the thing about emotional pain is that emotional pain can be contracted by mental pain, by physical pain. Those in itself can create emotional pain. Uh, Emotional pain, so many people deal with it in different ways. The majority of people with emotional pain keep it bottled up, and that's what this format here is about. It's to let you know that you're not suffering in silence. There's people, you know, out here that share your pain. Um, I believe I looked up the stats. 1.5% of all Americans deal with depression. Depression comes in so many different shapes, forms, sizes, different categories. Emotional pain being one of them. Um, so 1.5% of all Americans, that roughly comes out to, I believe they said 3.3 or 3.5 million people in the United States. That's a lot. Um, when you deal with your emotional pain and you say you had a traumatic childhood like I did, very abusive, um, I find it very difficult. I don't know. I can't speak for everybody, and I'm not claiming to be an expert. There is my disclaimer. I'm not an expert. I'm a survivor. There's a difference. And when I say a survivor, I'm not saying I overcame it all. I'm a survivor that continues to fight the fight with it. So, but trying to talk to people, is a very hard thing to do when you're dealing with emotional pain. I attempted to do that through therapists. Okay. I personally have a problem with talking to people about issues that I've had in my life, emotional pain that I've had in my life that have not walked in my shoes. Okay. Um, yes, therapists, their intent are good, but they truly don't know the pain you're going through. They don't. They don't get it. They're trying to give you answers and help from a textbook that they studied. I'm a firm believer if you truly want to know emotional pain, you had to have went through the trials and tribulations yourself. Then and only then can you honestly talk to somebody and you know in your heart of hearts that, they know what you're talking about. That, I think, is a key thing. If you're suffering in silence with this emotional pain, Don't get discouraged. Don't, just be a hermit. You need to talk. You need to talk to someone about it. Somebody. If not, it eats at you like a cancer. It'll affect you in every way possible. You'll lose weight, gain weight, sleep, not sleep, physically get ill. I mean, just so many things. There's support groups with people who've been through some real nasty stuff. Search them out, but be wary. I've went to support groups where all they did is woe is me. That's all they talked about was the woe is me. Woe is me. Not a conscious effort to try to see if you can overcome or better yourself or find some kind of closure. And that's it. That's a killer phrase too. I do not like. People always say, "Oh, emotional pain, you need to find closure." There is never closure with emotional pain. The memory is always there. The pain is always there. You can feel it. You can feel it like it was yesterday. Now you can learn to live with it, but there's no closure with emotional pain. There isn't. There isn't. Just like I said, when there's no understanding someone when you don't understand what they went through because you did not go through what they went through. Well, I'm letting you know if you're watching this now, I've went through it. I've went through it. I've sat in my room. I've cried. I'm 48 years old, and I cry over things that happened to me when I was 6 or 7 to this day. It can be very overwhelming. It can be very lonely. So my question to you is, do you want to be lonely? And of course the answer is no. You want to be understood. You want to share your pain with someone who understands. Well, you can't do that if you're sitting in your room crying, isolating yourself. You have to reach out. You have to. You have to. So many days I've wasted with being alone, beating myself up over things, about things that had happened to me that I didn't even cause. Are you going to allow that? See, that you're allowing a secondary pain to take over. You already got hurt emotionally once because of this subject. So you wind up isolating yourself, crying about it, crying that you're alone, suffering like this. That becomes a secondary emotional pain. I've beaten myself up so many times over things. I'm surprised I'm not black and blue in my soul. But there's people out there that have went through what you went through. You're not alone. You're absolutely 1,000% not alone. You need to find these people. You can't heal. You cannot heal or attempt to heal by staying stationary, by staying depressed, by staying hurting, by crying every day. That's what you call wallowing. You're just wallowing in your own self-pity. And then I do it. I do it every day. I wish I could follow my own advice. I am my own worst enemy. You are your own worst enemy if you do these things. You're not attempting to, tackle the situation or try to, like I said, you're not going to find resolve. You won't. But you will find at least a common ground of existence. To whereas, yes, this had happened to me in the past, but I am no longer that person. It is a part of me, but I am no longer that person. I am no longer a victim. I am no longer an abused young man. You know, and if you don't come to that conclusion of I'm done beating myself up, this is going to eat at you like a cancer. This is going to set up severe depression. I myself became suicidal. I mean, I chose one day enough's enough. There's time for changes in my life. There was times to address the situations that I didn't want to address. There was people I had to confront that I didn't want to confront. But I had to. Because these are things I knew I always wanted to do. I wanted to find out why. Why did this happen? Why were you like this? Why did you do this to me? Why? To confront what's hurting you really sucks. Because it's like you're reliving it all over again. But unlike when it first happened to you, you'll be able to get an answer of why. Now, not everyone's going to answer you. Some people will cop out. Oh, it's because this, that, or this. It was because I was drinking. It was because, I was getting divorced. Look, when you cause emotional pain on someone and you seriously hurt this person, it's because you yourself had issues at that time. So people can cop out all they want, but if you're going to be real about your pain or pain that you have caused people, you need to be real about it. Because if not, you're just lying. You're being very unsympathetic to anything around you. So, but I myself got motivated, got off my ass, got out of my room, got out of my crying corner, because I got tired of crying. I didn't want to be this depressed, emotionally hurt individual anymore. Does that mean, I don't cry about it anymore? No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I recognize it. I recognize it's a part of me. It became a part of me. Because, I didn't set out to be an emotionally scarred individual. I was made that way through trials, tribulations, circumstances, individuals, okay? But I can choose for the suffering in myself to stop. Like I said, it doesn't mean I'm not going to cry again over it. It does mean I'm not going to suffer. There's a big difference. I found people that pretty much mirror what I've been through. And I love them to death. They listen, they truly understand. When they say, oh, I totally understand. That is a big difference coming from someone who walked a mile in your shoes compared to a therapist who's fresh out of college, who's reading from a textbook, and doesn't have a clue about what it's like to be a 6-year-old kid and say have the mom shove their head through a wall. Okay? That's an insult for the emotionally hurt individual. Emotional pain. We take that as an insult. How can you dare tell me you understand what I'm talking about? Because you don't. Now, I would rather hear, I'm sorry that happened to you than, oh, I understand. Okay. And I'm pretty positive anyone who's watching who's had emotional pain would agree with what I just said. You can't understand because you've not been through it. Reach out to somebody, get out of your room, get out of your crying corner, find a support group. I'm not saying therapists are bad. I'm not saying that there's no therapists that don't understand what you're going through. There's some. I guarantee you, there's some that have had a drug problem or had sexual abuse or physical abuse, or I mean, we can go on and on and on with all the different shades of pain that could be put on a person. But that's where it's up to you to do the research, to make an effort to not want to suffer. Isn't it worth finding out what a therapist specializes in and why they specialize in it? Isn't it worth your time to associate yourself with people who truly understand your heart? That way you can pour it out to them and they can do the same in return. Or are you just content with being miserable? I say no. I'm not going to suffer in silence anymore. I'm not going to wish I wasn't here anymore. I am making a conscious effort to find my happiness, to find my peace for my soul. And if that means having to relive things, rehash things to get control of it, then I will. Because again, like I said, you're not going to have closure. You're not. It's a part of you. It's a part of me now. A lot of good has come out of my pain. My pain, I can describe to you, but my pain does not define me, period. I can tell you what it started making me be like, but it doesn't, all this negativity, all the crying, all the short-tempered, it can change you. But I knew that wasn't me. So all I'm trying to say is you're not alone. There was someone who really touched my soul the other day. I won't name names. And I hope you're watching. You're not alone. If anything, what I said to you struck a nerve, then guess what? You're not alone. Someone actually does understand you. Because I do. And if you're tired of hurting, if you're tired of crying, always asking why, do something about it. Reach out. But when you reach out to the right people. Reach out to the right people. And remember, there's so many more people than what you realize that are going through now what you're going through, or have went through in their past what you were going through now, that truly do care. I may not have met you, but I care about you. I care about you because I know the hurt you're going through. and I wish that on nobody. So we'll do more little live shows. This was just an introductory to what I'm going to be doing. I just want to help people not suffer the way I did. Not to suffer the way I did. This will be a forum where anyone can talk about anything. If you had a crappy day, tell me you had a crappy day. My email is all lowercase, Albie Jim 111, and that's ALBEE Jim 111 at gmail.com. If you have anything going on in your life and you don't know what to do, like I said, I'm not a therapist. I'm not licensed. I'm just someone who's been through some crap, who honestly cares about other people hurting and can feel their pain. And I would love to help as many people as I possibly can. So on that note, I wish everyone well.